This is Alt 92.3, New York's alternative and Odyssey station.
New arrivals, I'm Bryce, and we have on the line our first repeat guests, dare I say friends of the show, Chvrches, and you guys brought along a friend.
Yes, we have.
Indeed.
Robert Smith of The Cure, thank you for joining us. How's everybody doing?
Good, thanks, yeah.
New arrivals.
I mean, the music is new, technically.
Yeah, no, it thrills me.
It's arrived.
I'm thrilled to have all of you guys here. Obviously, Chvrches, we've spoken before, but Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, Ian. Hello, Martin.
Hi,
Hello,
hi, Robert. Hi, Bryce.
Good to see you guys again. I mean, you guys all know what it is, I think. That's like a show. It's new music, Sunday nights. And
I never miss it, personally. But.
Tune in regularly. Well, I definitely want to start at the beginning, because obviously the best part of doing these interviews and doing a press run is answering the same question over and over and over. How do we get here? How did all this happen? This is such a good crew.
Are you going to tell version A, B, or C today, just so I can...
Just a whole new
Let's put a version D, yeah.
Yeah, does anyone want to take a stab at version D?
I think you should do it, because I did it 5 minutes ago.
So I guess it happened through our manager, who was like trying to fish for he knew how big a fans we were of The Cure. He knew the way that we felt about it, and he was trying to get in touch with Robert's management. Didn't realize that Robert was self-managed, and he called us up one day freaking out saying, "I've just had a message from Robert Smith of The Cure."
We were like, that's not funny.
And we're like, yeah, haha. And he was like, "What do we want?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, let's send Robert a bunch of music and see if he's vibing on any of it." And the collab really grew out of that. Suffice to say, we were pretty chill, whatever.
It's quite funny getting a request for something that you don't know what the request's for.
Well, I think that our manager, he just had a message from Robert saying something along the lines of, "What do you want?"
I think it probably was, "What do you want?"
Yeah, totally.
A valid question, because we were like, we don't really know.
Why are you on my doorstep?
Yeah.
We're just sniffing about, and you're like, what is it that you require here?
So then you guys send this batch of music to Robert. Robert, you get this music. What draws you to How Not to Drown?
Well, I think there was 5 or 6 songs in the initial batch that I got, which were a lot of them. They were pretty well formed actually by that point. I mean, they sounded, like they're proper songs. They were kind of like, they weren't just like sketches. And How Not to Drown had a bit of a male vocal going on it, which helped me to kind of like allowed me to kind of think how I could fit into it. And also there was just something about the song itself, melodically and texturally, that I just it kind of reached out to me. I loved them all. I mean, I wrote back with my thoughts on each one of them, as I remember, saying, "I love this, but I can't see how I'm going to fit on it. Number 2, I love this, I got to, So it wasn't a cut and paste either. I actually thought this, but I ended up, I sort of sang along to them. I remember walking around outside singing along to them, and I just felt that How Not to Drown was just sort of like, it just felt right. You can't really explain sometimes why, it just felt right.
Sure. I mean, it's funny for me because I found out about the song on a Zoom with the band and then almost immediately got to hear it. I didn't even have time to really anticipate what that might sound like. Though in my mind, I sort of assumed it was going to be really doomy. And then...
Why?
What, you mean it's not?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, it's funny because it was either I was like, it's either going to be really like doom and gloom, or it's going to be like very happy and uplifting. And it's funny, it ended up in this real sweet spot, I think, which leads me to the remix, which just came out, which is a bit more maybe of what I would have expected. Sprawling, vast, very sheen, if you will, at times. How did that end up happening? I know you did like a Deftones remix too in this period, but how did the remix come about?
I was asked to do, I did one anyway. I was saying earlier to Lauren, I took some, because I got all the stems and the various bits of the song, and so I listened to some of the things, and there were little bits I thought, I wish that was louder in the mix. I did say, I think just turn the bass up. That's the only thing I actually said about the original mix. Because I think it's a great mix, but there was a bit of the bass I thought, oh, come on, that's a hook.
The hi-hats as well, was it not?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the hi-hat. Yeah, okay. So turn the hi-hat down. And it's a sample.
Oh, that's what we were freaked out because not to be that guy, but if Robert asks for a mix change, like, you're gonna do it, and it's like, I was like, this is all connected. I don't know how we're actually gonna turn these hats down, but
I think that you sent me exactly the same mix with just hats down written on as part of the title, and I listened to it, I go, that's a lot better. Yeah.
The classic.
Yeah. Well, that's what I would have done. Yeah.
This is such a great pairing. I would be curious there's been so many great collabs over the years. Do you guys have any favorites before this?
I wish you'd tell me some.
Some great collabs? Yeah, I mean, I was just...
Go on, like what? Go on, give me three.
I was thinking about this going into this interview. I was like, I don't have an answer to this question. I don't know if they're going to have an answer to this question.
I've got an answer to this question.
Kanye West and Jay-Z? I don't know.
Kate Bush and Peter Gabriel. That's the only one. That's the only one.
No, it's
I like that. Sorry, you go.
No, it's Bowie and Tina Turner doing a reggae version of the Iggy Pop Tonight.
Oh wow!
I thought Bowie's got a few crimes there, because that Mick Jagger one's absolutely horrendous as well.
Classic,
although there is a really good video on YouTube, if you guys look it up. It's like the Dancing in the Street cover with no audio on it, and people have put over the top mouth and body sounds that they're making while they're doing it. And I would prefer that over the actual song.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to think this morning, Nick Cave, Kylie Minogue, I like.
Yeah, that's good. That is that on Murder Ballads? Yeah.
Is it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think what we're discovering here is there are many more bad collabs than good.
There really are,
Right.
yeah. And those ones that you can tell are like labels have been like, what a great idea. Let's just plop this person next to this person and that'll be great. And then you get...
I misunderstood actually when I got because I got it through saying, think about some good collaborations, for later on today. Like, we expect you to come up with it. I'm like, so I've been sitting outside for half an hour thinking like, I thought of Kate Bush and Peter Gabriel. I was thinking like Laurel and Hardy. A
very important collab. True.
ABV gang, yeah.
Yeah, Marx and Engels, Watson and yeah. They're honestly, it's one of those things. You started this by saying there's been so many great collaborations, and they haven't. It's really weird. Like, my favourite collaborations are mine.
Yeah. Well, that was the elephant in the room, is that I would have brought up the glove. But but you can't really.
Castle's one as well.
Yeah. So it turns out the only person that does good collaborations is Robert.
Yeah. So you should be in charge of them all.
Yeah. Blink. I like the one thing I did with Blink. Gorillas. I like the thing I did with Gorillas. I mean, come on. I'm the go-to collaboration guy.
I can't imagine how many kids were so confused and then became huge Cure fans because of that Blink song.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Robert, I have to ask you. You said that these next 2 Cure albums may be your last. Do you see yourself doing more collabs then?
You can see, you've been in conversation with me for a few minutes now. I just talk rubbish. A lot of the time I just like, I've been reading a book called Consciousness Explained by Daniel Dennett, and that's about I read it about 10 years ago, trying to figure out how do thoughts and, how does what I'm saying come out of my mouth. I've got no control over a lot of it, and I'm no closer to understand. I just finished it yesterday, and I still don't know why I'm saying this. It's like, so yeah, I don't think that, when I said that, I probably thought that, but I don't think they will be. How do I know? I have no idea. I really don't. I'm not just saying, I have no idea.
Fair enough. No, I mean, it's very valid. We're getting the wrap-up sign here. Obviously, we're so excited about this collab, How Not to Drown, out now, off the album Screen Violence. But I do need to talk about my personal favorite Robert Smith collab. Over the years, there have been many, but you versus Barbra Streisand on South Park. What a thing.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Like, how did that come together? Have you ever met Barbra Streisand?
I'm not collaborating with Barbra Streisand. I'm attempting to kill her.
Well, the collaboration was with South Park.
Megan Streisand was it?
But have you ever met her? Like, did you ever have to deal with that in real life and be like, it's cool, we're chill, I promise?
I mean, I'm collaborating with Stan. If any, it was the first series of South Park, and again, it was Trey made. It was a fan who came to a show and just said, "Do you want to do?" No one had any idea what it was. He showed me a few pictures of it, and I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I was in Los Angeles. We were playing at the time, and I just went into a studio, and he tried to explain to me what it was, I had no idea. I was dreadfully hungover, and I had to read these lines saying, I will kill you, Megastruck. It's like that. And then a year later, it came out, and I was like, whoa! It's And ever since then, I've been a huge fan. I think it's great. It's great. It's still going.
Well, hey, thank all of you for taking so much time and hanging out, and we're so happy to have the song out in the world. And hopefully much more music coming from both of you. Very well, an album from Chvrches, and hopefully something from you, Robert, soon.
Something. Yeah.
Right. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, Bryce.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye.
And that was Robert Smith of The Cure with Chvrches. That full chat will be up shortly on Odyssey.com. That is it for this week, leaving you with Robert's remix of their track, How Not to Drown. I'm Bryce. This is New Arrivals. And until next time.